Hi, and welcome to Preview. My name is Giampapa. Preview.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue guy.
Well, hello and welcome to Preview. My name is Guy Giampapa. It's been a while since we've been here, but it's good to be back, and I have some exciting news for you. We have a guest today. His name is Marc Zuppallo. Welcome to the show, Marc.
Thank you, Guy. It's good to be here.
Oh, good. We're going to be talking to you in a few minutes.
Wonderful.
About your writing and so forth. Well, you know, the year 2019 is now upon us, and the theater is on its way with some new and exciting productions. The Lyric brings us their version of The Little Foxes. You remember this as the classic Bette Davis movie, followed by the African Mean Girls play. In June, Speakeasy is proud to announce the return of the acclaimed production of the Tony Award-winning musical Fun Home. If you missed it last summer, see it beginning in June for 4 full weeks. This is the same cast as last season. Do not miss it. J.B. Priestley's timeless thriller, An Inspector Calls, arrives in Boston for 2 weeks only, beginning March 14th at the Emerson Cutler Majestic Theater. It will be there for 3 weeks. From March 15th through the 31st, the Company Theatre of Norwell will present the Tony Award winner, Evita. This is a smash opera that follows Evita's rise to power from the streets of her youth in a province outside Buenos Aires. In Boston, at Broadway in Boston, you can see Miss Saigon, which returns in June with a new production. This is followed by Dear Evan Hansen. You don't want to miss it. Betty Buckley stars in the universally acclaimed production of Hello, Dolly. And don't forget Cameron McIntosh's new production of Les Mis. And coming in December, the Emerson Colonial will present the must-see production of the musical event Magic Mike. And it's going to be an exciting year. And it's exciting in here, too, because we have a guest who is an author. His name is Marc Zuppallo. Welcome to our show, Marc.
Thank you, Guy.
You're an author, right?
Yeah.
How did you come out doing that?
I kind of fell backwards into it.
Really?
I had lost my job. I was laid off, and I had some time to think about what I really want to do.
Yeah.
In this life. So, just so happened a friend of a friend was a high-profile figure in the sports industry, and he wanted to do a book about himself, and he knew I could write. He seen a few little things I wrote online, and he chose me. So his name is Brian McNamee. He was the strength and conditioning coach for Roger Clemens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was embroiled in all the steroid controversy, which I sort of got dragged into. At least I got subpoenaed a few times because of the court cases. But anyway, that's how I got started. The book was never published. Maybe someday. But because of that, other clients came on board. Knew I could do it, including Jerry Cheevers, who was the Hall of Fame goaltender for the Boston Bruins.
Yes,
so I wrote Jerry's book, and it's been great ever since.
How many books have you written?
4. I'll have 5. One hasn't been published, so one manuscript. I'll have 6 total, really, once the next one comes out in next month.
What do you have to do to get a book published?
Traditionally, I mean, you'll want to set up a proposal, really, which can be very lengthy. It depends on what publisher or what agent you want to target. But I mean, it could be literally an email with a brief synopsis, or it could be you include a whole chapter in a whole packet that you send. So, but it's extremely difficult unless you're doing unless you have a story that's a true story. It's extremely difficult to break in.
Well, you don't just go to a publisher and say, "Hey, I've got this book, and I'd like to have it published."
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's they are people who read these proposals are overworked and underpaid. So you have to be good with your proposal, and if it doesn't strike any sort of chord with the person reading, it's probably not going to happen. Beyond that, you're going to need some sort of track record.
Yeah.
Something out there that's that's done pretty well, that's been received well out there, and you've sold some copies to get yourself some attention. Otherwise, it's going to take a while, to get it there.
So how do you get the track record?
Uh,
Is that the difficult part?
Yeah, I mean, these days the way technology is, you can have a blog, and you could develop an extremely large following for that blog. That's one way to do it. You just have to keep writing and writing, put short stories out there, self-publish, do things like that, and I think if you're focused and dedicated enough, I think it's going to happen. So it will.
Wow. I know it's a difficult job,
Yeah.
but once you get it, you get the in,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah.
Then it's a lot easier.
Yeah. Then you have an employer who has a lot of confidence in you, and hopefully you get a deal where you have to write 3, 4, 5 books right off the go, and it becomes a little easier. So yeah.
In other words, you have a reputation by this time.
Yeah.
Oh, say, oh, hey, I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, I would suggest try and get a true story going, something that will resonate with the public, something that's a commentary or something that's topical that people will really grab onto.
Mark, what's the name of this book that I've heard so much about?
The novella, it's Miami Underground.
That's an intriguing title, Miami Underground.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you tell me what it's about?
Sure. It's about a group of thieves that they steal high-priced items, jewelry, paintings, things like that, up in Boston mostly, and they decide to sort of take a break. And the leader of the pack goes to Miami with his new girlfriend, and he's approached by someone down there to steal something, but because he's so unfamiliar with this character, he decides not to do it. They steal the girlfriend, and they're forced to steal something out of the Versace mansion. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I did a lot of research for the book, a lot, and so there's a lot of history on that mansion that a lot of people don't know about. So, really excited about it because I think it's an original idea.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever done anything like that with that mansion, and it was a lot of fun writing.
Have you ever been down into that mansion?
Not in it. I've walked past it after Gianni Versace was murdered too. It's eerie to walk by.
Is it really? Why? Because of the murder?
Yeah, I mean, it was right on the front steps.
Yeah.
So you're right there, and I talk a little bit about it in the book as well.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about it. It's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of different emotions in the book.
This is purely fiction, isn't it?
Yes, this one. Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say if it was true, you'd probably have the cops on you.
Yeah. I try to make sure, I don't want a target on my back with anything I write, so I'm pretty careful about that stuff. But
yeah, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, there's probably a good chance I'll go to Miami too to market the book, which would be fun,
Oh, it would be, yeah.
So that's going to be great, I think.
It's I think it's wonderful when you have an idea for a book and it's fiction, but you use real characters.
Yeah.
That makes it that much more interesting, doesn't it?
I think so. When you consider who the character is, Gianni Versace. I mean, he was, the fashion mogul. He was an international superstar. So, famous guy, and I think people will talk about it because of that.
But you also have to be careful when you use real people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't use any sort of Versace branding in the book to sell my book. I mean, that would be illegal, and I'd have a real problem. Versace had a lot of designs and iconic symbols that he loved. That as far as imagery goes, we couldn't use it on the book cover or anything like that. So, but otherwise, sure, you can talk about somebody. I mean, that's people write books about all kinds of characters out there.
Well, when is this book coming out?
It'll be probably mid-March.
Mid-March?
Yeah.
Oh, then we're pretty close to it now.
Yeah, we're close, yeah. So we're going to start party planning really soon.
You say it's going to be out in mid-March?
Yes.
And where can you get it?
You could find that in any one of my books on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can get it in Kindle form, print form, anything. So there's a number of online retailers out there that'll have it, but including those two major ones.
Do you have any trouble getting online with your books?
No.
I mean, the book companies like Barnes and Noble,
Yeah.
do they ever say, no, we don't want it?
Oh, no, they embrace it.
They do,
Yeah,
huh?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Do you have a favorite book?
Yeah, right now, this is my baby, The Last Longshoreman.
Oh, this is the one you're giving me?
Yeah, this is yours for my paisan.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much. This one is called The Last Shoreman,
Last Longshoreman, yeah.
The Last Longshoreman, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll take this home and I'll read this tonight.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hopefully you'll like it.
What, is this a true story or is it fiction?
It's fiction. You know, I draw from real life experience as well. So
Yeah.
you know, but for the most part, there's no real parallels between, no solid ones between some of the main characters and an individual that actually worked on the waterfront. Let's say. So.
When you start writing a book, first of all, you have to decide if it's going to be fiction or fact, right?
Yeah, I mean it's
Is that how it works, or is there a secret?
no. I probably have a backlog of 10 stories in my head that I got to get to. You
Oh, my
know,
goodness.
so I know. I know in the foreseeable future it'll be fiction for me,
Yeah.
unless something comes up. But you know, unless someone approaches me, you know, I had Charlie Moore, the Mad Fisherman, who I'd worked with. He has a fishing show on Nesson, and we worked extensively on his book, which is, you know, a biography.
Yeah.
So that's a true story. We're not done yet, but you know, eventually that'll be out. That's true. But as far as I know, I'm just going to stick to fiction because it's fun. Like I said, I love making things up. You know.
Once a book is published, what kind of a reaction do you get?
It's favorable for me. It's exciting.
Good.
It is, you know, especially with social media now. I mean,
Yeah.
you can really, you have a real far reach with things like this, with marketing. And Facebook actually allows you to do that. So does Instagram, market your own products.
Yeah.
And I throw a party every book.
Do you really?
Which is great. Yeah, I have it at a cigar bar in Boston. Stanza de Cigar is what it's called. And it's my favorite place. You know, it's my sanctuary. And yeah, people that don't like to smoke still put up with the smoke, and it's a great time. Everyone's having a few drinks, they're chatting, smoking some cigars, eating good food, and so I do it up because you know, you only live once, and might as well have fun with it, you know.
But it also serves a purpose, right?
Oh, absolutely, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great photo op, you know. People talk about it, you know, because it's such a good time, and you know, you're invited. Hopefully, you'll be able to see the next one. So.
Right. Okay.
You know.
And what about TV or movies? Is there any? Do you get any reaction from those people?
I have difficult business.
I know.
You
I
know, but you know, as 10 days after this was put out, I did receive an email from a producer.
Did you really?
Sure, yeah, and you know, he basically said, you know, if we're gonna read the book, and if it's to our liking, I think we're the people for you, and this, that, and I said great, and at one point they did mention it would have been great if it was a true story, so that's what they love, you know,
Yeah.
Hollywood. So it wasn't true enough, so they passed on it, and then I had a few other people contact me as well, and you know, we'd reached a couple more steps in the process, but not. It hasn't been optioned yet for a Hollywood film.
Yeah.
But it's out there. I think people know that it can be, and I think it will be eventually. It does take time sometimes.
What do you have to do? Do you have to push that along, or is there a way of doing that to get those people interested?
Yeah, I mean, you have representatives too, who talk to the right people, and again, that's another situation where, you know, producers probably they deal with that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they have you know, books and scripts and this and that, and they're more apt to take a look at the script anyway. You know, for them to commit to
Yeah.
reading a whole book to do it, you know, it's tough. But it's probably the next step for me is to get it in script form. You know, to sort of bypass another step for them. But
There's really no easy way, right?
no, it's never easy. No. But you know, every book that I want to write, I sort of do. I fill it in for the big screen. Really,
Yeah.
it's heavy with dialogue, and you know, it's got a lot of humor, and a lot of different emotions I put into the book. So hopefully one of them will catch on.
I think it will.
Thank you. Yeah, I
You
think
know,
so.
I mean, there's just so much that an author can do,
Yeah.
and you need fresh material
Yeah.
all the time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You have to keep moving. You can't just stick with one and hope that sit back and hope that that's going to be the one.
Yeah.
But like I said, I have a million ideas going on in my head, so I never run out, and so that's the good thing.
When you were a young man, not that you're old, a younger man in
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
did you have this idea to write books?
No, I knew I loved creative writing, and I remember in junior high enjoying a class, high school, and in college as well. And I'll tell you, one time at home when I was a little older, I saw a shoebox full of notes to write a story. So I knew I loved doing it. I just didn't know I'd get to this point. Something I guess I had to lose my job to figure that out.
Really?
Yeah, but it was obviously worth it. So
Yeah.
so I haven't been doing it my whole life. It's just been 10 years.
I'm amazed. I mean, how
fun.
many books have you written?
Well, it's been 6. Yeah, 6.
Six books. Okay. And you've co-authored. Have you ever co-authored with other people?
Yeah, I actually 2 were health and fitness books for teenagers, and I mean the Jerry Cheever's book. I was essentially the ghostwriter on that one
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, I'm going to have another project coming up where it's myself and 2 of my friends. They came up with the story, and I'm just going to write it. So that's going to be fun too. It's a lot less work, believe me. The writing part is easier. Is the
Oh,
easiest.
is that right?
Thinking of everything is the
Yeah.
toughest part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can you talk about your future plans?
Yeah, sure. So the next one, the novella will be out in March, and we'll kick that off at the party again. It's gonna. The book is about a group of thieves who have to steal something out of the Versace mansion in Miami to save the life of someone. So
Is this fiction?
yeah, that's definitely fiction.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't draw anything from real life there. That's definitely fiction. And then I'll get going on the next project after that. So I just keep moving. Really, there's nothing specific. Just gonna continue with the marketing. I'll do some radio and TV coming up, and
Yeah.
to get things going. So
Do you, once you write a book and it's finished, do you do any public appearances or anything in association with the book? In other words, how does one way of selling it?
You mean like bookstores and things like
Yeah.
that? I don't do anything like that. I don't do anything traditional. Most of my book signings are in restaurants and bars because, again, I just like to make it a good time for everybody,
Yeah.
So I don't do anything like that. Maybe in the future I'll think about it. We'll see. But it's too slow for me to sit there at a library and read a passage or things like that.
Yeah. I mean, there are people that do
Sure,
do
yeah,
that.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would do it. I guess I would do it, but I haven't focused on trying to.
Well, what else can I say?
I don't know.
When you, as a writer, I'm sure there are thoughts going through your head all the time,
Sure.
different things.
Yeah.
Are you the kind of person that when you get a spark, you write it down
Yeah.
and then put it aside for a while?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to
Yeah.
do that. I'll drive myself nuts if I think of something I can't retain it. So especially for a book, I have to write it down because one word you could expand that one word into an entire story, a story within the story. So it's very important to retain what goes between your ears,
So that you're home watching TV and you're watching, say, a comedy, something comes in your head that not necessarily related to that, but an idea.
Yeah.
So you put that down and file it away.
Oh yeah, I write it down. I have a pen and notepad right
All the
there
time?
at all times. Yeah. Yeah, when I'm watching TV.
Oh, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I've never really talked to an author
Yeah.
who has given me their thoughts on writing.
Yeah, I mean, mine could be vastly different from the next guy you speak to, but that's my approach, and my other approach too is when I think of a story, I try to write sort of the outline, the bones of the story
Yeah.
first, and then I'll go back and fill in the blanks. And I go back about 10, 12 times probably.
How many of your notes have you thrown away?
I don't think I've thrown any of them.
No, you saved them.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
I have a lot of notebooks that aren't even fully filled in, but I have a lot of notes on my phone as well now. You know, taking digital notes are important. And
Well, I think the more material you have,
Yeah.
the better off you're going to be.
oh yeah, sure.
You know,
Yeah,
and you have more items, more to write with.
yeah.
You know.
Anything you can go back to helps a lot. So.
Well, what else can I say? Am I going to see you on television one of these days?
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, besides being on my show.
Oh yeah, hopefully I'll be accepting an Academy Award or
Yeah.
something like that. You know, best original story.
Okay.
Which I think is going to happen. So
Well,
yeah.
that's not entirely impossible.
No, I don't think so.
You know,
No.
that can happen.
If you can dream it, it can happen.
That's right. You know. Have you ever? Do you know any Academy Award winners personally?
Only Emmy Award winners. I don't know any
Okay.
Oscar winners. Yeah, no.
Well, that's good enough.
Yeah, I'll take it for now. You know.
I mean, they're all equal.
yeah.
You know,
Baby steps. You got to start somewhere.
Mark, it's been wonderful talking with you.
It's been great here, Guy. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope I see you in the bookstores real soon.
I think you will. You will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was just great. Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Guy.
Thank you for the book, The Last
Very
Longshoreman.
welcome. Very welcome.
I'll read that tonight.
All right.
Okay. Thanks again for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, that's our show for this time. My name is Guy Giampapa. It's been exciting having Mark on our show. And if you have any comments, please write to us and let us know, and we'll take it from there. Okay.